Welcome to Audit the Video, where we sort out the who, the what, the right and wrong of YouTube videos. This format is brought to us by Audit the Audit. In this particular video, Hasan Abi. Be sure to check out the description below and give these individuals the credit that they deserve. There has been a bit of controversy surrounding the very popular streamer Hasan. While he was streaming, he was clipped. The clip in question was taken out of context and posted on Twitter. And here in this video, we will be giving the full context. Now, to start, the only context I'm leaving out from the beginning is that Hasan went to a party after streaming and his social battery had already been depleted. And so,
I left the party and I spent like an hour. I left my brother and my other friend behind. I was like, y'all are on your own. The real reason why I get like insecure when I'm out at events like that is because like I am a fun-loving person. I promise. But the issue is after 9 hours and 30 minutes of streaming, like high intensity, I am not a fun-loving person. At that point, I'm just like, I'm so tired. Like the life has been stripped from me. But yeah, my point is I personally feel insecure about like what my output looks like to other people. I don't want people to think that I'm like, you know, I hate being around them. I don't. I'm just really tired. So I'd rather like avoid those kind of circumstances. Now, you know how it is with real jobs feel. Yeah, it's funny you say that because I used to have a real job and I was infinitely more social, because this is the one area where I absolutely will disagree with you on.
this is the part where Hasan makes claims that a lot of people disagree with.
Yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will.
If you had not seen the context that was before this clip and the context that comes after, you would not be blamed for assuming Hasan was saying here that streaming is harder than a real job, because there's not enough context to determine otherwise. However, as you have seen and as you will continue to see, Hasan is only talking about the drain on his social battery when it comes to jobs such as streaming and quote real jobs.
No. Social battery wise, unless you're in retail, it's very different. You're out of touch. I'm going to die, dude. There's motherfuckers who are accountants in here and they're misunderstanding what I'm saying. A real job does not expend your social battery in the same way as someone who did a sales job, a real job.
Now, what Hasan did in this clip, which may be a thing you see a lot, he never fully explains what a real job is. He just gives examples of what a real job is and examples of the exception of a real job, which leaves the rest up to interpretation. There is not even enough context in the full 20-minute video to see what a real job is. Now, from my interpretation, I believe he doesn't really go into detail because it does not matter as much, because his take here is mainly about him explaining his grievances about the current job he has, which is streaming.
I'm telling you, as someone who did both, 9 hours of constant performance and people pleasing taps you out from social scenarios. After 9 hours of that, I could probably do physical labor. It would not bother me, but I can't do more social. That's my point. There are obviously real jobs out there that are good comparisons. Service sector, people pleasing jobs would be very similar. Those are like, I think, customer service type. But like if you're an accountant, or if you're even like in sales, my interactions with clients was limited, way more limited than like constantly having to do this for 9 hours with like a back and forth interaction for 9 hours. That's what like sucks your social battery and you just tap out after it. Yeah, think about it this way. You give presentations for your job, right? Imagine giving a presentation for 9 hours straight. After a while, you would be like, I don't want to talk ever again. I call it like the dead zone. When I'm done streaming, I usually have like at least a refractory period of an hour where I just sit there and silently stare at my phone. That was my point. And that decompression time period, if you're doing that in front of other people, it's like, it just sucks. You just are dead. You're hollowed out. So people probably think I'm a asshole.
Is this take true or not? It's hard to say. There are many factors at work to determine which jobs, streaming or otherwise, are more socially draining than others. Factors such as if a person likes their job, if a person is intro or extroverted, the type of social interactions the person has, and these are just to name a few. So it would seem to me that the answer is subjective. Overall, Hasan gets a C. Although Hasan did say some things that may be considered controversial, it is not to the degree that the initial clip suggests. Hasan also portrays his opinion as though it is factual information. It is not clear if Hasan meant to do so on purpose or not, since when he was asked to go into further detail on the matter, he just repeated what he previously said.
Clarify what your actual take is? I did. I'm a profoundly fortunate individual. This is the lottery. Having said that, my social battery runs out after 9.5 hours of streaming, and I can't socialize adequately, and I worry that like I look like an asshole to random people. That was my point. That's all I said. Think about that. I said after 9.5 hours of streaming, because you constantly have to be on, and that's the one major difference that I've experienced in comparison to my prior experience being in sales, okay, where I at least had like off moments, where at least I had moments where I could be by myself and not on camera in the same way. 9.5 hours of constantly trying to be on takes a mental toll on my social battery specifically. It's not as physically taxing.
Now, dear viewer, as you can see after watching the entire 4-minute clip of context, as well as extra context given by Hasan later on, do you still believe Hasan's take was bad or out of touch? If you do, please tell me why in the comments, and I will see you all in the future.
How much do you agree with the statement that streamers are out of touch? Infinitely out of touch. Of course I agree with that statement.